When you have nice round shoulders, your overall body just looks more aesthetic, more pleasing, and you're gonna grab a whole lot more attention. Hey man, Gary Walker here, and welcome back for another video. All right, in this video, I'm gonna give you some of the best exercises to build bigger shoulders after 50. All right, so when it comes to being 50 years old, one of the biggest things I've noticed, and I coach a lot of men ages 50 plus, one of the biggest things is a natural wear and tear. So a lot of guys have come into my program, my coaching program, with a lot of shoulder injuries. A lot have had shoulder surgeries, and some just natural wear and tear. Their shoulders ache. You have limited range of motion. So there's a lot of things wrong with men's shoulders once you get 40 really. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It's very common amongst all those guys. Here's the thing. That doesn't mean don't work your shoulders. You actually want to work your shoulders more. There's a few things you have to be aware of when you're working your shoulders though. One thing I like you to do is just warm up your shoulders, even something as simple as shoulder circles. Talking 15 to 20 rotations forward, 15 to 20 rotations backwards. So it can be a very simple warm up. What this is going to do is allow you to get more blood flowing into the shoulders, get some synovial fluid into the joints, loosen things up. The first exercise I'm gonna show you is the shoulder compound exercise. So I do want you to do a compound exercise, and this is gonna be an overhead lift version. So again, going back to limited range of motion, I understand you may have a very shallow range of motion. You may not be comfortable doing this, but it doesn't really matter how much load you use, especially initially. Just try to do a light enough weight to get the weight over your head. And I'm gonna show you how to do this. Let me get some dumbbells and demonstrate this for you. I'm gonna show you a couple different things I want you to be aware of. So let's grab a couple dumbbells here. A lot of people, when doing shoulder presses, they basically just do these wrong. So one of the things you'll notice when people do a shoulder press, a lot of times their elbows are flared all the way out to the side. I'm using dumbbells. You'll see a lot of people do barbells. I don't really like barbells with this because it keeps your hands in a fixed position. And once your hands are in a fixed position, so are your elbows. And I actually like you to be a lot more comfortable and bring these in slightly neutral. Neutral would be if my palms were facing each other. So if you have really bad shoulders, then this is a really good safe position for you as well, completely neutral. But you can also bring these out slightly. Now, the next thing you'll notice, my shoulders, they're not out to my sides. They're actually tucked in slightly. I like to tuck these in and keep your abs tight when you're doing these. You want to keep your core tight, and that's going to keep you from rounding your back and also arching your back. All right, you want to support the spine anytime you're doing an overhead movement. So from here, press up under control. 1001, 1002, 1003, lower under control. Press back up. 1001, 1002, 1003. All right, now look at the position of my elbows here. So when my elbows are in front of my body, that's the first thing you want to make sure you're doing correctly. Keep the elbows in front of your body, not directly out to the side. This is what a typical shoulder press looks like. Elbows are flared, hands are facing forward, pressing up. The problem with this, I feel my shoulders already. So you want to actually bring these in, rotate your palms, keep it in this natural plane of motion. Nice and under control. All right, so the thing about the compound movement, this exercise is designed to give you some more strength in the shoulders, overall shoulder work. So primarily you're working what's called the anterior shoulders or the front delts. So this is gonna really hammer those front delts. They're still working the sides and the back, but to a very minimal extent, which is why the next two exercises we're gonna focus solely on those other two parts of your shoulders. The other thing that you really gotta be key on here, you'll notice, let me show you one more time, is the range of motion. I actually start with a full stretch at the bottom. If this is uncomfortable, then you don't have to go this low every time, but make it a goal to try to get this flexible. Here, straight up. The reason I'm saying that, some people can come about halfway down and they have to push back up. Halfway down and it's very uncomfortable. All right, and that makes a lot of sense if you've got shoulder injuries or natural wear and tear. However, the goal with this exercise, increase strength and increase your range of motion. So just because you're starting with this little half movement doesn't mean you have to end with the half movement. Gradually get from here to here. All right, and then from here, try to get to where you can get all the way down, full stretch, straight back up. Full stretch, straight back up. And again, the weight isn't near as important. You don't have to go extremely heavy here. I just want you to get into that movement, correct movement pattern, full range of motion. That's gonna give you a lot of strength in your shoulders. The second exercise I'm gonna show you is for the lateral heads of the shoulder. The cool thing about the lateral head is it's going to make you appear wider, meaning the wider you are up top, the more narrow your waist looks, which is huge. So you can get that illusion of being wide-framed guy with a smaller waist as opposed to just being boxy. If you have a big waist, you have a big midsection, this is one of the best things to do initially. Obviously you want to diet, eat good, lose some of that body fat. That's gonna get you a lot healthier. But in the meantime, if you're focused on widening your shoulders, you're gonna look a lot better anyways. All right, my favorite exercise for this, you've probably done a lot of lateral raises, dumbbell raises, but I really like doing cables. So if you have access to a cable system, then use a cable system. If you don't, you can use a resistance band. Resistance band that's anchored at the bottom, and it's gonna give you the same results, all right? But here's the main benefits of a cable and a resistance band. First thing you're doing, pulling away from the weight. So with the cable, you've naturally got tension. It's already stretching your shoulder. If you're doing a dumbbell, you don't really have any shoulder work down at the bottom. You don't have that extra tension. So with this, I want you to come all the way across the body, get a full stretch. Keep your shoulders square though, meaning when we pull this up, I'm gonna show you without the weight first. Your goal is to go out and slightly up, not straight up. All right, so that's gonna be my main goal. We're going out, slightly up. The reason I say that, a lot of people have a misconception when it comes to lateral raises. They think the goal is to just get the weight straight up. From here, up. All right, you don't wanna do that. You actually wanna go out first. Activate the side delts, then bring it up slightly. I like to keep my elbow higher than my hand. So you'll notice other people, this is done incorrectly if you see somebody here and then bringing the hand up. If your hand is up higher than your elbow, then you're not gonna put all that tension where we're wanting it, right on the medial delt. So let me show you a few of these repetitions, the cadence I like to use. Nice, slow, under control. Same on the way down. Don't allow it to come down too quickly. Out and up. Control it on the way down. Also, nice stretch. So a couple more reps here. You'll see that cadence. I want you to use that cadence every time you're working your shoulders. This is gonna allow you to keep tension on the shoulders, and it's gonna prevent any momentum from being used. What is momentum? Momentum is if you're turning and you're pulling. Turning and you're pulling. You'll see a lot of people do that, but you're minimizing the results that you're gonna get from your medial delt. So by doing a strict and controlled movement, you can get the same results with a lot less weight. So that's exercise number 2. So we've worked the front delts, we've worked the side. Now, one of my favorites for the rear delts, let me show you on this bench here. It's a chest supported rear delt fly. So let me get a couple dumbbells here. This definitely doesn't take very much weight. So the main goal here, this is also a small movement. You're gonna keep your elbows, you're gonna keep your arms straight down. Keep your head neutral, meaning don't bring your neck all the way up like this. Keep it neutral. And then the goal with this exercise is elbows out and then up. And you don't wanna come up too high. You don't want your elbows to be higher than your back, because what that's gonna do is gonna activate your traps more. This exercise is designed to really hit the rear delts, the posterior delts. So from here, right there. I'm also not pulling up. You'll see me coming out and up. Down and in, out and up. Down and in, out and up. Also holding that little squeeze slightly at the top. Hold it. And don't drop it. Control it on the way down. Hold it. Control. What I mean by control is you don't want this look. You don't want to drop it. You don't want to come up and drop, up and drop. You really want to just focus on controlling the weight. All right. That again is going to work the posterior delts or the back side of your shoulders. All right, so doing those 3 exercises is gonna give your shoulders a great look, great appearance. Fill out your shirt, you're gonna look a lot better, be a lot happier, all right? So it's one of those aesthetic muscles. When you have nice round shoulders, your overall body just looks more aesthetic, more pleasing, and you're gonna grab a whole lot more attention. But let me know what you think of these exercises. Also, I would love to hear what your favorite shoulder exercise is. Leave that in the comment section so I can check those out. Other than that, man, thank you for watching this video, and get busy, get after it, and God bless.